You've probably never seen this extraordinary SUV. The Isuzu VehiCROSS is one of the rarest mass-produced SUVs, with less than 5,700 units manufactured. This avant-garde car, which debuted at the Tokyo Motor Show in 1993, went into production for only 4 years, from 1997 to 2001. Let's take a closer look at this future collector's classic. Overview. This is a 1997 Japanese-spec VehiCROSS, one of 1,751 produced for the local market. The extravagant bodywork, which was unusual at the time of its debut, is just as attractive today. The 3-door body looks majestic, with small windows and a massive lower section. The VehiCROSS looks capable of tackling rough terrain, and indeed it is. The car was designed on a chassis which is very similar to that of the Isuzu Trooper. It also has a well-engineered 4-wheel drive system. But let's focus on the design, because that is what makes it truly unique. A large amount of unpainted plastic surrounds almost 1/3 of the car's overall body. Very interesting is the design of the rear part of the body. Integral with the trunk lid, storage space for a spare tire looks futuristic even considering current trends in car body design. There are many details that did not fall victim to budget cuts. Nothing has been sacrificed here, just look at the complex shape of the rear window. Let's go back to the front. Here we also find a lot of interesting details. The lighting components, both front and rear, come from various Japanese cars. This is how production costs were optimized, yet note how impressively they have been integrated into the silhouette. Take, for example, the headlights that flows smoothly into the hood. The air intake opening itself also looks very carefully proportioned and consistent with the overall styling. It deserves praise that the VehiCROSS does not differ significantly from the originally envisioned concept. It is very rare indeed to see so many individual features of a design survive into the production model. And speaking of production, there were innovations here too. Bodywork elements were pressed using concrete molds, which slowed down production and eventually led to its suspension due to premature wear of the molds. On a more trivial note, it is worth recalling the dimensions of the VehiCROSS. It must be admitted that, due to the way it was designed, the car appears to be much larger and more massive than its dimensions suggest. The body length is 413 centimeters, width 179 centimeters, and height 171 centimeters. Compared to present-day cars, it is closest to the Toyota Yaris Cross or Jeep Renegade. That's a pretty compact car by today's standards. What is not quite ordinary is its drive system. 4-wheel drive and a 3.2-liter 6-cylinder gasoline engine that makes the ride a lot of fun. Ride quality and chassis features. You're probably wondering what it's like to drive a VehiCROSS. It must be admitted that today this car is a car for enthusiasts and collectors, evidently a lifestyle staple, and so it should be regarded. Visibility is severely limited in all directions. You can hardly see anything behind you, but there is a rear-view camera on board. It did come as standard, which was a big deal considering the times when the car was offered for sale. How does it drive? It's a frame-based car that has a lot in common with the Isuzu Trooper, except for the different suspension components, which give the car more comfort. Stopping power is provided by ventilated disc brakes on both axles. At the front, there is a double wishbone torsion spring-independent suspension. And at the rear, a 4-link coil spring axle suspension. At this point, it is necessary to point out the differences in technical specifications between the Japanese and US versions. The US version is optimized for comfort on asphalt with different shock absorbers, springs as well as the elimination of lateral rods, while the Japanese version is derived from rally experience. Completely different Kayaba shock absorbers with separate oil reservoirs plus firm springs with high damping force, brought over directly from the Isuzu Bighorn Rally spec. The Japanese VehiCROSS also has a completely different transmission adapted from the previously mentioned rally spec. The 4-wheel drive system features electronically controlled torque on demand (TOD). Its torque distribution was fine-tuned to match the sporty character of the VehiCROSS, providing quicker and more responsive handling. The North American version has a full-time 4-wheel drive configuration, meaning there's no 2H mode. Interior. Let's move on to the interior. Sporty, wonderfully characteristic of the era. A Momo steering wheel, excellent Recaro seats, aluminum pedal footpads. Just like in a high-performance rally car. All this in the unique 2000s vibe. Brilliant carbon fiber textures, vibrant patterned seat upholstery colors carried over to the accessory floor mats. Deliciously stylish. External design patterns such as the rib door panels or the tailgate are reflected clearly on the headliner. Simple, easy-to-read instrument cluster with accentuated elements that hint at the sporty character of the car. A central panel with a built-in audio unit that also serves as a rear-view camera screen. Below is the air conditioning control panel. Definitely fully automatic despite its vintage look. Yes, this car has a flair that is hard to deny. Let's move to the back. There are 2 more seats, but admittedly it is tight. Now let's see what unique solutions the cargo area has to offer. Contrary to what it may seem, it is quite spacious. Still, the loading opening is quite narrow, but then again, none of you would buy this car to haul tons of luggage. That's more than enough for your lifestyle purposes. Price at BEFORWARD. Similar Isuzu VehiCROSS are available for purchase at BEFORWARD. Prices start from around $8,000. Find your gem at BEFORWARD.JP. The right one might be closer than you think. Check the link in the description below for current stock and pricing. Our inventory is updated daily. Engine options and efficiency. The VehiCROSS is powered by a 6-cylinder, V-type gasoline engine. Engine code 6VD1 produces 215 horsepower and provides up to 284 Nm of torque at 3,000 RPM. Its 24 valves and fuel injection were very advanced features at the time. With an 85-liter fuel tank, it's reasonable to assume that the VehiCROSS burns a lot of fuel. Despite its relatively low weight of around 1,750 kilograms, the VehiCROSS with its durable, oversized drive transmission, reduction gearbox, and rally car grade suspension consumes between 12 and 16 liters per 100 kilometers. But we're sure you won't mind. It's a car to enjoy, and that's how it should always be. Speaking of which, the VehiCROSS and many other rare classic cars offered by BEFORWARD.JP are Japan-sourced, are frequently low mileage, and have remained in decent condition, promising long, reliable usage in the decades to come. If you're looking for quality car at great price, visit BEFORWARD.JP. We offer a vast selection of vehicles to suit every taste and budget. You can also send your inquiries to top@BEFORWARD.JP.